Hello and welcome. I'm recording this early March 2025. I am Pat and this is my second video channel. The first being a really nerdy thing where I go deep into technical stuff. But this is the first video in the Patently Unfiltered series, because I'm Pat. See what I did there? It's a channel that's going to be a lot different. So what is this? Why am I doing it? And what will you get out of it? What you'll find here is basically firm opinions loosely held. I'd like to share some thoughts and finds and maybe start a conversation or two, and they'll probably wind up being more meandering journeys than some straight information dump like my tech videos are. All this is coming from just a basic human drive, but one I sure have in droves, and that drive is the urge to create, to make, and share. I think that comes from two places. One is the basic need to be useful, to contribute, and maybe to prove my worthiness to exist or be accepted by the tribe or something, but who cares, right? It's the result that counts. I want to cover life, the universe, and everything, and to give you some of the things I've stumbled upon or thought about. Now, I go through existence searching. I'm looking to understand. I'm trying to figure out how things work, why things are the way they are, the big questions of the nature of existence, and the smaller ones of how particular things work. I want to know. Because of that, I've collected a few data points that I think might be worth sharing. And that's the other reason for putting this out there. Because if I discover some golden nugget of value, some sliver of wisdom, or handy information, or a useful way of thinking or point of view, or whatever, if I can impart that onto you, well, then when I do that, there, it's yours, and I don't even lose it. It's pretty magical. Now, it's probably one of the reasons I love open software so much. I can give it to you, and 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 it costs me close to nothing. I still have it. It's amazing. And then what happens? Well, if it's useful to you, you don't have to spend any time discovering it. You can use it, morph it, or build on it, and you can generally spend your time figuring out something else. And then when you do that, well, maybe you'll even be inspired to share your thing with us, and in any case, we'll all indirectly benefit from any effort you saved along the way. And look at that, we've all advanced 2 steps. Now, regardless of the details, I think life for everyone is better when we share our ideas and have conversations. Now, you may know me from my other channel, and there it's more a professional thing. It's usually deep geek explorations of topics that I find interesting or useful. So it's all coming from the same place, but that channel will remain what it is. Deep technical dives presented in a clean and, a structured manner. Here instead, well, deep, maybe. Technical, hey, maybe sometimes. But structured professional manner? Fuck no. This is going to be more like a chat at the pub, off the cuff, and covering whatever I want to say about whatever it is I'm thinking about. Maybe a tip, maybe a point of view, maybe just a story, probably a jumble of interrelated ideas, and you can expect me to go off on a lot of tangents and for it to be, the straight dope, nice and unfiltered. Will you like it? I don't know. I sure am hoping you will, or maybe have a laugh, and if not like it, maybe at least find some useful tidbits, or even be inspired to give an opposing point of view. Who knows? Now, with this experiment, I'm kind of opening up more and exposing myself. And it's not going to be some pure gift of knowledge or open source hardware design or other free goodie. It'll be more random stories and opinions, and if people can manage to be annoyed even by free gifts, no opinion is loved by everyone, and I'm certain some will disapprove even more strongly with this personal stuff. Now, part of me can't help but hope there are more, wow, super interesting comments than, ugh, you're such a shithead. But stating any opinion online always risks generating a lot of hate or derision. But here's the thing. Well, speaking of meandering, a little story. Many years ago, I had a friend who worked for the city, and they had this party in some giant tower with a nice view of the city, skyscrapers and stuff on one side and water on the other. And it was a grand affair with DJs and multiple floors, open bars, wide range of people. So I was having a good time. The music sucked ass, but I consoled myself at the open bar and at the balconies. And at some point during the soiree, I met a fairy of concentrated hotness, Storm. Now, I call her Storm in reference to the beat poem by Tim Minchin. If you don't know it, I'll link to it because it's so worth it. So I don't remember all the particulars of our conversation. Storm was someone who thought in very magical terms. There might have been astrology in the mix, spirits, planes of existence, that sort of thing. I, on the other hand, at the time, would have been described by her as Cartesian. A nice way of saying that I'm a total square because of my insistence on, accepting only demonstrable facts into the memeplex that is my conception of the world. Still, there's a lot you let slide in the presence of such a delight to behold, and I was open to at least considering Call them alternate or alternative points of view. Anyway, we talked and then took a walk away from the party, and then it turned out she actually lived quite nearby. Oh my. Just as we were at the door of her building from a pang of conscience, or because I was going to happen upon pictures on the wall or manly underwear, she revealed that she, in fact, had a boyfriend who, of course, wasn't around at the moment. Now, I was young and still working out what I actually considered to be right or honorable, or maybe I was just uncomfortable, but the end of that story is that I took a pass. Didn't go up to her flat, never saw Storm again. Now, maybe in a parallel universe we had 2 kids and then she left me for some random dude she picked up at another party. In yet another, she left me with nothing more than memories and an STD. But in this branch of the multiverse, she left me with the most potent virus of all, a good idea. Now, in what would be our final moments of conversation before we parted forever, she repeated her insistence that some book she'd gone on about earlier, well, that I should really check it out. And that's how I wound up reading a book I never would have touched in a million years otherwise. The book in question was Les Quatre Accords Toltec, the 4 Agreements. And what she'd said stuck with me. It resonated somehow, and I got curious enough to actually get myself a copy. Now, I warn you, the first chapter of that thing is total dreck, okay? I don't buy the idea of the noble savage, or that just because some notion is from long ago that it's guaranteed to be deep wisdom. And the rest of it was just repackaged Freudian stuff. Anyway, I powered through the sludge of the intro and then came to the agreements themselves. Okay, I'll admit that if you just read the bullet points like, always do your best, it seems the opposite of earth-shattering revelation. But if you don't know it, it's actually a tiny book, and it's pretty good at laying it all out and convincing you of the value of each accord in a way that sticks, so you actually apply it in your life. I think it's worth a once over. The whole point of this is that one of the agreements is basically don't take anything personally. Now, maybe it's just because I was young, but it's reading this book that I finally grokked that people are almost always exclusively talking about themselves. So when they say, you're awesome, or you're a terrible person, they are giving you information. It's just not information about you. It's about their feelings, their wishes, desires, dashed hopes, how they want you to feel or what they want you to do, stuff like that. So you accept it. Take it as input. Learn something about them. Now, if the same critique of you comes up a lot, it might be worth considering the gift concealed within. I mean, people are feeling a certain way about you repeatedly, so there's something you might choose to consider to change there. Or not. But mostly, don't worry about it. Hence, I try not to worry about it. So if anyone does feel inclined to tell me I suck and I'm a terrible person, well, I would appreciate a bit more detail. Like, really lean into it and lay it all out, okay? Why exactly am I awful? How bad do I suck? Like, deride a few specific examples of extreme suckitude to make your point. Same even for positive stuff. I'm on an unending quest for improvement, so I'll do my best to keep the ego in check and use it all constructively. And any factual corrections are way more than welcome. Please correct anywhere you catch me slipping up. So, okay, that went kind of random, but I guess it's a taste of what I'm doing here, at least at this moment, at the start of the channel. I've formed opinions on things that I think are worth talking about, and want to share these and maybe adjust those opinions based on what comes up. So I hope you find something good in there, or that maybe you'll give me something to think about or reconsider. Let me know if there's anything specific you want me to touch on. Keep rolling, friends. I'll see you next time.